The challenge has been thrown down to me. There are no good prequels. And I say, no, no, no. There are good prequels, all right? And I'm going to give you 10 great prequels that are going to prove that not only are prequels necessary, sometimes they make the movies we love even better. Let's start it off with number 10, Bumblebee. I'm not a Transformers fan, but I straight up love this movie. First of all, John Cena. At this point, we are all in on John Cena, okay? So now you can go back and realize why we're all in on him, because he makes this movie good, all right? He's like The Rock. When The Rock was out there in that beginning part, we weren't quite sure who The Rock was. Now we know The Rock is great. But John Cena pops in here, elevates the movie. Second of all, not directed by Michael Bay. Now, that's not a bad thing. I love Michael Bay. Michael Bay is the best. I don't like those Transformers movies, though, okay? This actually has heart. It tells a story. And the reason why it tells such a good story is it's a coming-of-age story with Haley Stanfield, who is, I mean, really, yes, you got Cena. But Haley, you've seen her in Hawkeye, amazing. You've seen her in True Grit, amazing. So she brings that level of acting into this. Her and Bumblebee together, this is a great film. You're going to love it. It's fun. It's fine. I'm not saying it's going to blow your mind, but it's better than any of those Transformers movies. I guarantee it. Number 9, Minions. Oh, you didn't think I was going to go animated. Yes, Minions is a straight up great movie. Here's the deal, right? We all love the Minions. Gru is fine, right? We love Gru. But the Minions is what we're here for, right? They had those. They're like the new MGM Lion. They're coming on before the film. You feel comfort with the Minions. They do an entire film just about the Minions trying to find an evil boss. Technically, it's a prequel because we find them basically arriving as some of the first creatures on Earth with dinosaurs, all the way through like a villain trade festival in Orlando, Florida. I've watched this movie a bunch because I have kids, and it's so rare to find a good kids movie that I can actually enjoy and they enjoy as well. But Minions, just keep coming. Number 8, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Now look, we've done it before. Tim Burton tried to do Planet of the Apes and it sucked. I mean, it looked kind of cool, I guess. Oh, that ending is rough. But Rise is another simply great film. How it happened, how it started is fantastic. This movie is so good that the sequel to this movie like skips over what most people would make a whole movie about. It's like what George Lucas should have done with all the prequels, like just condense them a little bit. Like at the end, I think actually the end of Rise, they do it. They give you a whole nother movie. Other studios, filmmakers would have made that whole like 5-minute postscript a brand new movie. Rise is great, simple, effective. Andy Serkis goes on the map as just being another person. Again, we're talking about a creature, somebody who gives you so much. You feel, you have emotions. I don't know, coming after this year of COVID, it hits even harder. Are we going into Planet of the Apes? Number 7, X-Men First Class. Disagree with me? Fight me. Fight me then. All right, this movie is the fucking bomb. I love X-Men. This film is exactly what I wanted, right? Put the X-Men in the past, give them some more challenges, show me how they got there. We all have those like minute like origin stories of Magneto and all right, yeah, we've seen that already. But this has pulled together an amazing team. Matthew Vaughn just destroys. Then, on top of Matthew Vaughn, who knows how to make a compelling action film, you have some of the best actors out there. You got McAvoy, Fassbender, you got Rose Byrne, you're seeing the Hellfire Club. So much great stuff in this movie. It will make you an X-Men fan if you haven't already been one, but this is what we needed. Number 6, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Is it a prequel? Absolutely, it's a prequel. Even though it came out 3rd in the trilogy, it actually shows you how Clint Eastwood's character looks so fucking cool in the first 2 films. I mean, he collects all of his items. I mean, and that is a great director. You make a trilogy, but the last one is about how you fell in love with the character in the first 2. Genius. It is the best. Eli Wallach is amazing. If you don't like Westerns, I would say watch this one because this is where everything that comes after it, I feel like, plays into this. I think my first real introduction to Westerns was truly through Back to the Future 2. I mean, it's sad to say, but Back to the Future 2, remember when Marty gets shot and he's got the thing blocking his chest? That's from this movie. Clint Eastwood at its best, one of the best spaghetti Westerns. This is a great, great film, even if you don't like cowboy films. Number 5. Am I going to be controversial? Number 5, you bet. Rogue One. Rogue One has grown in my mind, all right? When I first saw Rogue One, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this movie. It's only gotten better and better over time. I wish it was actually a series. It would have been a great Disney Plus series, but I do believe this is like one of the darker, more interesting Star Wars films. Obviously, the ending, which I won't spoil, is not a happy one. But we know that because we know how Star Wars starts. I mean, the whole idea is that they're trying to steal the plan for the Death Star to stop it from being made or whatever. Who cares, right? But we already know the Empire's going to win because we can't have the rest of the movies if the Empire loses. Do they win? They kind of do. Do they lose? They definitely do. And I do believe if you only saw it the first time in the theaters, you might have had different expectations. But go back, revisit it. It's a movie that has really, really grown on me. Number 4. You got to bring up Fast and Furious. You got to get in the Fast and Furious. Now, technically, Fast and Furious, this is one that's a hazy prequel, right? It's Tokyo Drift. So Tokyo Drift is a prequel of some Fast and Furious movies, but not all Fast and Furious movies. This movie ends, I get all the Fast and Furious movies mixed up, but basically the end of this movie where Han is killed is technically, well, because we know that Han is alive with Gal Gadot, so don't get so hung up in the when. We know it's a prequel because at a certain point, it's confusing to even describe. Here's the thing. Justin Lin is fantastic. Justin Lin made this movie, and it feels so similar to his breakout film, Better Luck Tomorrow, which you could also say is a prequel film because the character of Han Solo is in it, and Han is also in Fast and Furious. Anyway, Justin Lin, thank God for him bringing back this franchise. If you want to see some full-on Han, watch these 2 movies. I'm going to give you 2 movies back-to-back. Better Luck Tomorrow, not technically a prequel, but kind of a prequel with a character. Anyway, you get it. Fast and Furious is muddy, but that's why we like it. Number 3, J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. We have always been threatened with how Kirk and Spock met. We've never really told that story, and J.J. Abrams here attacks that story, but also gives us a traditional Star Trek story. I like the time-traveling Spock. I know a lot of people did not like the time-traveling Spock, but that's been established since Next Generation. I mean, this Spock has been around. He's doing the work. I mean, I guess that's technically just old Spock. I love Chris Pine. Chris Pine is phenomenal. His cast is amazing. Carl Urban, Zach Quinto, Zoe Saldana, they're all coming back now for the new Star Trek movie, which is going to be great as well. I am happy to call it a Star Trek because I do feel like it pays so much homage to everything that we love, but without being a complete retread. It feels new, it feels different, and shut up about the lens flare. I don't think the second one is that bad either, but I do love the third one that they made. That is a straight up great Star Trek film. Star Trek Beyond, also directed by Justin Lin. You see the theme. Justin Lin is like John Cena, and John Cena is like The Rock. They are franchise Viagra, but they work in reverse because they're really making the prequels better. There's logic there that you can unpack, and it would be great if I wrote a full essay about it in a blog post, and I think it would go viral. Number 2, The Godfather Part 2. I mean, that's a classic one, right? The Godfather Part 2, can't beat that. Prequel, sequel, everything together. Fleshes out the back, gives you more in the front. This sets the bar. And I know technically it is a sequel and a prequel at the same time, but when you watch this movie, you go back and understand Marlon Brando's character in such a different way. It's a beautiful film. I think it might be better than The Godfather. Whoa, I know. But the reason why is because it balances these 2 stories and 2 ways of rising to power. I think it makes everything way more sympathetic, where the first movie is like more of a straight up mafia film. This film is more emotionally challenging. What do you think? Fight me. And finally, we end on probably the best prequel film of all time. Of course, it is James Bond's Casino Royale. I mean, you can't beat it, right? We need to reinvent the franchise. We need to figure out what Bond is for the now. We can't have him doing all this stuff, but yet we kind of bring him back to the Sean Connery era. We kind of make him harder edged. We make him a blunt object, a killer. The quips are still there, but they're darker. This is the movie that if you've never seen James Bond, you want to start here. It feels like Ian Fleming. It feels like Sean Connery. It's got some of the fun of the bigger movies because it's directed so damn well. But at the same time, it starts us off with a whole new hero that needed to be completely reinvented. Casino Royale is Mexican Coke, and we have been drinking regular Coke. If you haven't had Mexican Coke, get on that. That's what Coke is, and that's what Casino Royale is. All right, so those are my top 10 prequels. Let's go down the line one more time. Transformers, Bumblebee, Minions, The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, X-Men, First Class, The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, Rogue One, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Star Trek, J.J. Abrams edition, Godfather Part 2, and of course, Casino Royale. So, those are 10 great prequels. Prove me wrong in the comments. Let me know what you think. And what are you doing watching this video? Go start watching those movies. And if you like this, rate, review this channel, follow us. It's great to do. I mean, is it great to do? I think it wouldn't cost you anything. It's totally free. So do it. See you next time. Bye-bye.